consummate professional, that the numbers even at this stage have changed. We were given numbers leading up to this hockey game, and in typical Soviet fashion, many of the players have arrived on the ice with numbers that are far different than the way they're listed in the program.
Well, in fact, when they first came out for their warm-ups, they were wearing white jerseys.
It's true.
Which would have made it a bit of a problem for everybody watching at home or here. And we're underway as Leach drops the puck off for Guy Gosselin, who shoots it out to center. On the intercept, taken down as Lavrov. Good hard check. The United States has come out hitting, and this is Lupton. Knocked behind his net, taken to the boards by Gosselin.
Let's go!
Centered out in front, an opportunity. Lavrov, good save by Terreri. Soviets keep up the pressure. Lopchin goes for it. Terreri will try and clear, and it comes out to center ice, and a break for the United States. Moving to center, Tony Granato. Granato dropped it for Okerlund, and Churkus covers up. Well, pretty good end-to-end play for the first 41 seconds.
Real good. You know, you talk about Team USA playing a physical style at the beginning, I think for a couple of reasons, Spencer. Number one, Dave Peterson has asked him to play a physical style. He wants to send a message back to the big national team that is not over here, that it's going to be tough in the Olympics when they meet this team. Let's take a look at Terreri's big save to keep things at 0-0 here in the first period. It's a spinorama move in the slot. Terreri's a reaction goalie. As soon as the spin takes place, he goes down to block the low shot. I think he was probably going down anyway. That's a tough spinorama move to try and raise the puck with. Terreri read it really well.
And we're back live. U.S. trying to keep the puck in. They do. The shot on net by Jeff Norton.
Boy, I think that might have hit Churkus right in the mask, but he didn't even flinch.
Good hard shot there by the Soviets to Kushkin. And the Soviets will get the puck out into the neutral zone and finally lead it out ahead. Coming in is Vlasov, and another save by Terreri. And the U.S. is able to clear. Vlasov dropping the puck back to Sergei Svetov. United States changing on the move. Soviets with a complete new unit out there. Sergei Teplyakov. And the United States on the intercept. Borbo went for it, but it's played by the Soviets. Teplyakov being hounded by Snuggerud, number 22. And unable to keep the puck in was the United States' Scott Young. A break in the action, no score, first period.
Chances to develop at both ends, still no score. Good save by Churkus at one end off his mask. Just prior to that, Terreri stopped a great opportunity by one of the Soviets.
And the United States in control of the puck as Borbo shoots it in. Chases on, Borbo goes, but Halazov, number 5, comes up with the Soviet. And the Soviets can't skate, no doubt about it. This is Vasiliev. Perhaps the most talented of the Soviet players, Mikhail Vasiliev, number 23. The Soviets will rush it out now. Vasiliev. Zhukov. And the U.S. is able to get it out. This is Miller. Back for Borbo. U.S. changing. Peterson's making a lot of changes. He'll do it quite often. Vasilyev's shot sails wide, and it comes back to center ice, and Halazov has it for the Soviet. Soviets, you'll watch the game progress, Bill, as you'll mention, of course, will change 5 aside, a complete unit.
Yeah, they play in units. North American hockey basically revolves around 3 forwards and 2 defensemen. They very seldom play as units. The Soviets very seldom play in anything other than units, and as this game unfolds, we'll try and isolate which units are which for the Soviets and which are their top ones.
This is Leach for the United States, giving to Gosselin. Gosselin. Ray McDonald goes for it. Leach back behind his own net. Leach still in control of the puck. And Brian Leach will keep it in. Into the slot, the shot sails high. Good opportunity for Scotty Fosco that time. Fosco chasing the puck. It's picked up by Leach, who shoots it wide. Steve Leach. McDonald puts it out in front. Norton fires. Save, and a good one by Churkus. United States putting on the pressure. No score, first period. Out in front, score! Leach, Bradley!
I didn't have a chance to say it, Spencer, but the Soviets are no different than any other hockey team in the sense that the longer you maintain pressure, the more they break down, and that's exactly what happened. Outstanding forechecking by Team USA. Number 19, Lane McDonald, was the key on that play. But Leach, we haven't had a chance to really tell you about him yet. The most talented of this Team USA bunch. Moved all the way in from his point back on defense to slip in by his check and end up one-on-one with Cherkis. And he made no mistake, and Team USA leads 1-0.
Got a 1-0 lead, and on the move again. Millen coming in, try to sneak it out in front to Tony Granato. And the Soviets will come back, and they will come back quickly. This is Vyacheslav Lavrov, number 20. Lavrov giving it on the left side to Kukushkin, who fires it in. Brown dropping for Norton for the United States. We'll give you the scoring on that in just a moment. With Brown making that block right in front of the net, and it's cleared to center. Kukushkin, number 3. 15:35 remaining in this first period. It's been a fast-paced first 4.5 minutes. Brown bounces off Lavrov. Dave Peterson sends another unit out now. Practically changing 2 for 1, Bill, as far as the Soviets are concerned.
Well, you know, Team USA is looking forward to this game for a couple of reasons, Spencer. One is to play against better competition. That means a higher tempo. So they're going to have to change quicker to make sure they're still in good shape.
Team USA goal. Score by number 2, Brian Leach. He is dressed by number 8, Kevin Miller.
Here's Zubkov, number 7. Takes Kevin Stevens, so they're not reluctant to dish it back. Team USA has a goal of showing the Soviets that they're going to play a physical game. These guys have been around. The guys in red are an experienced hockey team. They're going to start hitting back pretty soon.
And they have started. That was a darn good hit right there. Yanni gets Vlasov on the faceoff.
2-on-1.
Igor Vlasov. Vlasov has stepped off on the left. And we get a whistle.
Boy, that's unusual. I think Vlasov, well, he was looking down at his stick. Maybe he's trying to blame his lumber. He's number 9, but that is unusual. A 2-on-1, and very seldom do you see the Soviets go offside. They went offside on this one on a golden opportunity. See if we can get a look at it. There's Vlasov. Oh, you see what happened? The puck just dropped off his stick, but I think he would have been offside anyway. He had lost the puck, and by that time the winger that was off the screen was long gone. You have to make sure that puck gets over the blue line before that speeding winger. We met Vlasov this morning. When we get a chance, we'll have to tell the folks about how we used him as our interpreter.
Yeah, he told us in a couple of things about his team. Very interesting, bright young man. Soviets in control of the puck. This is Kukushkin. And shot back by Laviolette. Snuggerud feeding ahead to Bourbeau, number 20. And Bourbeau getting tangled up at center ice, and we'll get a face-off. Taking a hit right there from number 18 of the Soviet Union.
Alexander Mikhailov. You know, one of the first questions I asked Vasilov this morning was, is this guy related to Boris Mikhailov? The spelling is the same, and he said no. They're no relation. 240 penalty minutes in 315 games. That's quite a few, so he's not afraid to mix it up. He's one of the members of the Leningrad Army team. 17 players are from the Leningrad Army team. 4 are from the Central Red Army team.
And the Soviets have control of the puck right here. Lane McDonald takes it away and just clears it out to center ice. US 2, the Soviets selects nothing. Vlasov with the puck. This is Igor Vlasov. Right out in front, it deflects right over the net as it went off the stick of Scott Pusko. This is McDonald. Guy Gosselin. 6:55 remaining in the first period. 2-0 in favor of the United States. U.S. goals by Leach is 7. Pusko his 12. Pusko's from Leach. That's Stephen Leach. It was Brian Leach who scored the initial goal for the United States. Gerasimov, number 22, carried into the zone. He loses control. And this is Tony Granato. Good rink-wide feed to Todd Okerlund. Okerlund taken to the boards by Zhukov. Gerasimov goes for it for the Soviets. And Millen just trying to fight him for the puck. U.S. kids, tough to get off that puck. Vasiliev, good feed to Gerasimov. Vasiliev, the save by Terreri. Halazov, what a save! Bruce Terreri as Halazov lined it up and tried to beat him to the glove side. And a beauty.
Is he fast? He's only 155 pounds, Chris Terreri, and that's one of the reasons he can move so fast. I'm not sure we'll be able to see it after the fact. There's the save. The splits. He had done the complete splits after the save, and that save was preceded by this save from the deep slot. That's one of the areas that Team USA has really been handling well, but you can see what happens, Spencer, when they break down. The Soviets, Europeans in general, love to use that slot. It's the best place to shoot from, so they always try and penetrate. That was one of the first breakdowns Team USA has had in the deep slot.
And what a couple of good saves there by Bruce Terreri, particularly the second one.
Well, when he's hot, he can beat anybody in the world.
And it is 2-0 in favor of the United States, with 5:59 remaining in this first period of play. It would be easy to say it has been all U.S. It has not exactly been that way. Soviets had some good opportunities. And Terreri has come up strong. They wave the icing off. The puck controlled by the Soviet selects. That's Maslov, number 16. Maslov goes for it again. Stevens after him. And this is Vladimir Zubkov. Laviolette shoots it in. Zubkov after it, number 7. Young trying to keep it in, does. Comes back out of the slot to McDonald, knocked down and played by the Soviets. Sergei Shendelev, number 6. Taken right off his stick. Jani with Donatelli on his right, but just could not get the puck off.
Here's Sparky.
Andreev was the man who took the puck away from him. 2-0 in favor of the United States. First period action. Zubkov. He is being chased by Snuggerud, who steals the puck. Snuggerud to Millen right out in front. Deflects off the stick of Shendelev. And the Soviets able to control. Leach's shot on the deflection. Cherkas is able to clear it aside. Out in front for Bo. Cherkas save. On the rebound, Snuggerud. Cherkas save. On the rebound, it is finally cleared. Oh! Big opportunities, and if you love good goaltending, you're seeing it here tonight on both sides, with the United States leading 2-0 here in the first.
Cherkas is in goal for the Soviet Union and playing a heck of a hockey game. Talked about the slot being a dangerous area. Take a look at this shot by Alan Bourbeau, undefended, and it was only a shot by save by Sergei Cherkas that kept this game at 2-0. And not 3-0. This team isn't supposed to be that good offensively, Spencer, Team USA. They've been all over them with some real good scoring chances. Cherkas has basically held the Soviet Union in there.
Yeah. They have been swarming as this USA team. This is Brian Leach as he is chased by Lavrov, number 20, and the puck is taken away by Mikhail Lapshin, number 14. United States controls now. Stephen Leach. Leach loses to Lavrov, number 20, but takes it right back. McDonald, and this is Lapshin for the Soviets with 4 minutes remaining in the period. 2-0 United States. Lapshin, Kravitz, Mikhail Kravitz, good stick shake. What a beauty by Leach, but he loses control. Lavrov's shot knocked down in front by Gosselin and cleared by Leach, and McDonald picks it up. US 2, Soviet selects nothing. Lane McDonald flies in, taken into the boards and taken in hard by Kukushkin. And the Soviets control. This is Vlasov. Igor Vlasov giving to Spetov. Sergei Spetov will get a penalty coming up. It'll go against the United States. First one of the hockey game. It'll go to Todd Okerlund, as Okerlund took down our buddy Igor Vlasov that time. Igor, one of the few. Igor English out of this team.
Hooking.
You can hear the voice of our referee tonight. Let's take a look at it. He was going by Okerlund. I think Todd just got the stick in between his legs, and it was one of those momentum things that carried blasts off right down onto the ice. You know, we look at the shots on goal. USA out shooting the Soviets 11-5. Mike Eruzione, you're standing down there, and I think you probably realize that's not uncharacteristic of USA-Soviet games, is it?
No, definitely, Bill, because, you know, Europeans tend to hold on to the puck a little longer and look for that perfect shot. You know, they have that little triangle off each goalpost coming into the front of the net, and they tend to try to work the puck in that area so they get the good high percentage shot, where most North American players tend to shoot the puck from anywhere, and, you know, it's obviously evident right far in this game so far.
Okay, Michael, Okerlund on the hook, first power play of the night, and it doesn't take long. Soviets come up with a goal immediately to make it a 2-1 hockey game. Mikhail Kravitz with a goal. Let's check it. Is that Svetov?
I think it was number 17, Svetov, and I'm really going to be interested to see the replay. It almost looked as if his shot had a chance to either hit the post or go wide, but it hit Chris Terreri's stick and then went back into the net. Pretty tough to see it from that angle. It was a simple matter of being at the right place at the right time. Here will be a good look at it. There's the shot.
7 a period, too many.
Well, you tell me. Now that we couldn't see, but it did hit Chris Terreri's stick. Nevertheless, that closes the gap to 2-1, but could hardly be called a glaring defensive lapse by Team USA. It was just a bang-bang situation, and they were there at the right time.
Sergei Svetov comes up with a goal. And it is now 2-1 with 3 minutes 12 seconds remaining in the first period. This is Svetov, number 17, the author of that goal. The United States will try and clear Greg Brown. This is Brown. That puck may have hit linesman Harvey. It did.
Okay, relax. Keep breathing. You guys just got the wind, eh?
That was some pretty good advice. Pretty good advice by Referee Jim Berlew. Keep breathing.
Or who shot it?
If you can. That's smart.
As opposed to stop breathing. Well, it's a tough existence for those zebras dressed in black and white out there. You can see that these gentlemen aren't wearing helmets. A lot of officials around North America, both pros and amateurs. In many leagues, amateur officials have to wear helmets now to protect themselves. But you can see that they end up in the middle of the action just as much as the players do. See if we can get a look at it.
He's just faking. He wants his TV exposure.
There's our linesman along the boards, top left of the screen. Here comes the shot. Ooh, man. Right under the right armpit, and it is exposed ribs. He is lucky to be breathing. No wonder Berlew was telling him to keep breathing.
Well, he guts it out, and he will stick it out. Svetov on the goal from Teplyakov and Zubkov at 16:48 to make it 2-1. United States out in front. 2:45 remaining in this first period. Svetov shooting out ahead. Vlasov chases. Jeff Norton looking for the puck for the United States. Right out in front. That's Igor Vlasov, number 9. Brown goes through for the United States. Svetov again. Svetov in front of Vlasov and the save. A rebound. Goal! As that one put in by the Soviets to tie this hockey game up at 2-2. And once again, Svetov comes up with a goal.
Well, how many times do we talk about the Soviets and their passing ability? Number 17, Svetov into Vaslov. Now, Terreri makes the first save, but the rebound gets out by Kevin Stevens, who did a nice job, 18 in white, getting back in deep. But look at all the white sweaters surrounding the red sweater, just 5 feet too far away. If anyone had moved to him, they would have clogged off that slot area. 2-2 now.
And the crowd quieted just a bit. Here's Snuggerud. We're all even at 2-2 now. Vladimir Zubkov going for the Soviets. And a shot back out to center ice. Vasiliev. This is Miller. Coming in. Save. Jerkas. And the puck comes off the supports once again. That's the third time that's happened. And on none of those 3 occasions can you really blame the goaltender, which is oftentimes the situation, as he inadvertently, intentionally knocks it off at supports.
You know, earlier I'd mentioned Granato being one of the top forwards. Kevin Miller has as well, and one of these times, one of these guys breaking in off the off wing is going to be able to hold his balance, stand up, and pull it by Cherkas and go to the forehand. All of the guys that have come in have been falling because the Soviets have defended pretty well. They've had to go to their backhand. We're going to see it tonight. One of them will pull it to the forehand. Oh, there's a chance.
Another big opportunity as Miller went for the puck. Zubkov comes up with it for the Soviets. We're tied at 2-2.
What's off?
And we get a whistle. Guess what? Goal off at supports once again as we check out linesman Harvey. Seems to be breathing pretty well.
You know, he had his hands behind us, resting on the boards, trying to lift up. Here's the tail end of that deflection that happened in the slot. You can see the action in front. Trenches are trenches, Spencer. It doesn't matter if you're playing international hockey, Olympic hockey. There's Dave Snuggerud. He's been being given a rough ride by Sergei Shendeliev in front. From pros right down to kids hockey, that trench area in front of the nets, you earn your living no matter how much you get paid in that area.
We're tied at 2. Steve Leach goes for it. Tries to put it in front. Lane McDonald's pass. Kept in by Gosselin. Oh, and now hard goes Steve Leach. Gosselin controls the puck.
Could have been a knee right there.
Yeah. Steve Leach taking it to the board.
Let's go, let's go.
We're tied at 2-2. Brian Leach. Must go. This is Gosselin.
Last minute of play.
McDonald goes for the puck. Mikhailov after him. Kept in by Gosselin. Shot on net, and the Soviets control under a minute remaining in the period. 50 seconds. 2-2 is the score. Good check by Brian Leach as he stuffed the hip out and took down the Soviets' Andrei Andreev, number 10. Right here, we just want to remind all our stations we would like to pause 5 seconds for station identification on the Freedom Sports Network. Spencer Ross, Bill Clement, Mike Aruzzione. We're in Richfield, Ohio. 18 seconds remaining in a very exciting first period. There are about 15,000 on hand here. And I don't think any of them are disappointed in what they've seen from Dave Peterson's club.
They're not used to hockey any better than this, are they, around here or around anywhere? It's been wonderful.
Well, once upon a time, there was a hockey team here.
There sure was. Well, there were teams in the American League, National Hockey League. Cleveland Barons were here once they transferred from Oakland, but these people are pretty hungry. A lot of people have stopped by our booth and told us how happy they are that this game is being played here.
Jeff Norton tries to feed it ahead. Halazov intercepts. 5 seconds remaining in the period. That's going to do it. Good, exciting first period of hockey. Hope you enjoyed it, because we've got lots more coming your way. As after one period, the United States jumping out to a 2-0 lead. But the Soviets battling back on a couple of goals off the stick of Svetov, number 17, and we are all even at 2-2 after one period of play.
Well, some things have been confirmed. We heard that Team USA had a very good skating hockey team, and we saw them skate this morning. They certainly looked as if they did. They showed me that they can skate, and they are big enough and they are tough enough. They really, I think, dominated physically. Sure, the Soviets have their passing game. That's one of their best skills. But the physical game is something which Dave Peterson and Art Berglund want to have ready. They want to be able to play any style once they get to the Olympics. Skating style, harder hitting style. I think they showed something of both in this period.
And if not for the great goaltending of Sergei Cherkas, the 30-year-old goaltender for the Leningrad Army team, who's a veteran.
I hope that it's the type of mono that's short-term and not long-term, because there are different varieties, and he will be missed on this team, certainly on the ice and certainly off the ice. He was one of the most popular players. Had a chance to talk to his dad last week about him, and a real interesting character that I think everybody was pulling for.
Well, nice kid. He wears his hair a little long, comes to practices in sandals and stuff. A good kid out of the University of Maine, where they've really improved their program. It's a relatively new program, and we're underway here in the second period. We're tied at 2-2. The U.S. against the Soviets, and for the United States, Corey Millen controls the puck. All even at 2. Lapchin goes for the Soviets, and it is played instead by Mikhail Kravitz. Right through the crease it comes. Soviets trying to mount some pressure here in the early stages. Lapchin goes for it. Good check by Gosselin. Lapchin again taken to the boards by Gosselin, and Millen has it for the United States. And the U.S. is able to clear out of the zone. This is Millen. U.S. making that quick change once again. Soviet Sergei Shendeliev, number 6, back on defense.
Coming by. Coming by.
Ahead to Vyacheslav Lavrov. Lavrov, number 20, knocked away by Janney. And played again by the Soviet Shendelev, who shoots it back down. Norton will touch it down, and we'll get the icing call on the Soviets as we look at Jeff Norton of the United States hockey team out of Acton, Massachusetts. And a look at Sergei Cherkas. Leningrad Army team, 30 years of age. Was the national B team goalie for the team that won the championship of the Pravda Cup last year. He can play, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he played a lot of hockey last year, too. Their league plays a 40-game regular schedule, and he played 39 of his team's 40 games.
It's like the old NHL, where you use one goaltender, and that was it. Jeff Norton chasing it down for the United States. Early part of the second period. Even at 2-2. Puck intercepted. Soviets keep it alive. Igor Vlasov. Vlasov puts it in front, and it goes right through the crease, right onto the stick of Janney. Greg Janney feeding it ahead now to Norton.
Let's go.
Here's Janney coming in, an opportunity. Cherkov with a save, rebound, Rusko! Puck is tipped in, and give credit to the goal to Clark Donatelli, and the United States lead it by a score of 3-2.
Well, you can see the Soviets arguing that the puck was kicked into the net, but they'll never be able to argue with the effort that Greg Janney put forth. Nice little feed here from Kevin Stevens. Janney has the speed. Watch him take one hand off of his stick here, right there, because he was being hooked and still maintain possession. Now Cherkas makes a wonderful save coming out to cut down the angle. Think they have an argument at that, Spencer? I want to tell you something. That's Clark Donatelli, number 17.
Let's go.
He makes a kick into the net look as accidental, I think, as you could possibly make it look.
And if it's accidental,
watch it here.
It counts.
There's a second chance at it. We'll be able to see the puck. That other look gave us a great look at it. He has a chance with his right skate. You can see the Soviet player is kind of pushing him, and I'm sure that's what referee Berlou was looking at as well, that he was pushed and that he was kind of off balance. Tough call to make, but a big goal for Team USA.
USA leading at 3-2, and another opportunity. Snuggerud comes in, shoots from an impossible angle. It is kept in by Stevens. His shot sails wide. On the rebound, Snuggerud back behind the net going for it. Miller puts it out in front. Cherkas goes for the puck, and it just sails wide. Big pressure here by the United States. They lead at 3-2. Puck touchdown, icing call against the Soviets. 3-2 United States early here in the second period.
All around Cherkas, that's Dave Snuggerud, and you know at that stage he wishes he had a scorer's hands. Dave Snuggerud is one of the top penalty killers and top checkers on this team, and one of the hardest workers. Not a real gifted scorer. You put enough pressure on anybody, even if you're just a checker, sooner or later you're going to get one by them. That's what that line did for Team USA. Swarming, still swarming.
And they are swarming. They've outshot the Soviets, nearly double the total against them. It is a 3-2 hockey game. Soviets control the puck. Alexander Gerasimov, but the U.S. comes up with it off the side of the post on the shot that time by Scotty Fusco. U.S. trying to get it out. Lane McDonald brings it back to Steve Leach. Leach with the puck. Gerasimov goes for it, along with Fusco. McDonald out in front. He scores!
Look at this from Sergei Cherkas' perspective. We've got an ISO on him as Team USA continues to swarm. You see that he lost sight of it there for just a second. Now here he picks it up. But Steve Leach, out of the University of New Hampshire and on loan from the Washington Capitals, spins around. Let's see what kind of screen. This is a real good look at what kind of screen. There's the problem for Cherkas right there. But what great forechecking by Team USA, especially that line, Scott Fusco, Steve Leach, and Lane McDonald. And you know, these aren't really the strong physical guys, at least Fusco and McDonald aren't. And even these players are in such great shape and have been so well trained. They're pushing the Soviets off the puck. I really am starting to believe how strong physically this Team USA is.
And one of the problems Team USA had in '84 was a problem with strength, particularly at center ice. And we're seeing some good strength movement by the United States hockey team here tonight. They lead it by a score of 4-2. We're early in the second third. Millen puts it in front. The shot by Brown is a save. Greg Brown and a beautiful setup right out in front for Millen. Soviets have the puck now.
Let's go.
U.S. leads 4-2. Andre Andreev, number 10, into the U.S. zone. Poked away from him. The save by Terreri. The shot by Ivanov.
No!
And another save. The deflection that time by the U.S. defenseman. Here's a break coming in. It's Millen.
Oh, yeah.
Corey Millen, 5-2.
Peterson told us Corey Millen is playing the best hockey of his life. Sergei Cherkasov definitely gambled on that his defenseman was either going to pull Millen off the puck here. Watch Cherkasov how far out of the net he is. A big gamble that definitely doesn't pay off. Maybe he hasn't heard of Corey Millen. Anybody that's followed University of Minnesota Gopher hockey certainly has. Gifted offensively, and you got to make real sure when you come out on that little guy that you know what you're doing. Cherkasov miscued, Millen capitalized. Looky here, 5-2.
5-2 in favor of the United States. You saw the quickness of Millen. Some people have compared him just in style to the very talented Neil Bratton. And he can't fly. We get a whistle, we get a stoppage of play, we'll get right back. Mikhailov, number 18, defense for the Soviet, has it taken away by Donatelli. Donatelli puts it in front, and the puck comes off the supports once again. Big, hard check right in front by Kevin Stevens, taking the Soviet defenseman into Cherkasov. You talk about a domino effect, we saw it right there.
Well, when Kevin Stevens is the lead domino, it's easy to end up with a domino effect.
Good kid.
6'3", 215 pounds of winger. Very talented kid that's going to be a great Olympian and a great pro, whoever he ends up with. He's owned by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Apparently a couple of other teams are in hot pursuit of Kevin Stevens right now.
Millen from Granado on that goal at 3:56. So a pair of USA goals, actually 3 goals within the span of 2 minutes and 2 seconds, giving the United States a 5-2 lead.
Let's go. Get the numbers on the ice for White. I got a slash in you. Let's go.
We got a penalty coming up, I believe. Let's just check it.
Take a look here. Number 12 is Mikhail Kravitz. Boy, he rams into Chris Terreri. Now, Jim Berlew has called a penalty. If we let that replay go a little further, we would see Chris Terreri slashing Kravitz. And I'm not sure whether he called it on Kravitz and Terreri. I didn't see really pronounced motions, but you know, Kravitz had words with Donatelli in the sequence before that, so I think Kravitz was a little wound up.
I got the roughing on red, slashing on White.
So,
I had them for
coincidental penalties. We'll get back 5-2.
Well, as we left you may have heard the voice of Jim Berlew, our referee, calling penalties against this man, Mikhail Kravitz, number 12. There's the penalty Chris Terreri gets for slashing back. That wasn't much of a slash, but he had to at least come back with some kind of... Well, he hit him with the flat of the paddle, too. There's a huge difference between being hit with the flat of the paddle and the edge of the paddle. But coincidental minors, and we're down to 4 skaters aside, which really opens things up.
And particularly for the Soviets, or at least it would appear to be that way. But the United States team has been the team that has been swarming tonight, leading it by a score of 5-2. As Leach gives it to Gosselin. And Gosselin is chased by Tepliakov, kept in by Halasov. His shot saved Terreri. 3.5 remaining on the coincidental penalty. And we got one coming up here on the Soviets, which is going to change things around and give the United States a man advantage.
Well, it was Halasov that was arguing. There's Jim Berlew. He called it. Halasov had really raked Brian Leach into the boards, and then he took another run at somebody else. We'll try and take a look at it as we get things wound up here. All right, Leach had just been hit. Well, it wasn't Halasov that hit Leach, but it was Halasov that ran in there, and you could see that he definitely, to the right right of your screen, got his hand up and his elbow up in one of the Americans' faces. So it was a good call by Jim Berlew.
So Halazov with the elbow at 5:22. The U.S. will skate 4 against 3 for the next 1 minute and 28 seconds. Big advantage, 4 against 3. You know, getting back to what we were saying earlier about the length of the ring. Of course, the international ring is bigger, but this might give the folks at home an idea of just how open things can be when you add those feet to the ring.
Yeah, they're going to have close to 15 feet in width more, and it really makes a lot of difference deep into the corners, especially on things like the power play. It's so crucial. Really difficult to defend power plays. You have to maintain a control box.
This is Jan giving to Leach. Back to Jan. Leach. Out in front. Millen sails wide. Kept in by the United States. Shendelev goes for it. Kept in by Leach. Millen to Leach. Leach. Corey Millen has time. A save by Cherkis, and a good one. On the rebound, Shendelev taking Millen into the boards. Here's Leach coming in. Back to Young. The deflection on the save by Cherkis. And it's finally played by Zukov, and off the supports it comes again with 45 seconds remaining on the 4-on-3 advantage for the United States. Let's head downstairs to Mike Ruzioni.
Yeah, Spencer, as we look at Coach Dave Peterson, one thing that he was a little concerned about was the fact that playing against the college teams, they really didn't have that much of a chance to play defense hockey. And the transition from the defensive type of game to the offensive type of game, as evident with that Corey Millen goal, they moved the puck very quickly from defense to offense and adjusted real quickly, and that's how that goal was created. To make that real adjustment real quick, they've been able to do that.
You're right, Mike, and you know, I think that's one of the elements that we have taken our game. I say we in North American sense, that transition, that counterattack, that's something that the Soviets really popularized, and I think that Team USA has learned from it. Everybody in North America has, and are starting to execute it very well.
U.S. has the puck. 25 seconds remaining on the 4-on-3 advantage for the United States as Brian Leach skates in. Leach is in, and a save is made by Cherkis as he tried to move around Zukov and flew over the goaltender. Janney going for the United States. Shendelev instead gets it out and flips it over to Zukov. Zukov just ragging the puck. Teams will be at even strength at 2 seconds. As out of the penalty box for the Soviets comes Kravitz, and they'll be playing 4 aside now for the next, the United States with a 5-on-4 advantage for 20 seconds. Good feed. Snuggerud giving to Bourbeau, and Bourbeau gave the extra pass. Nobody was there. Brown keeps it in. 3 seconds left on the man advantage. Bourbeau with a good hard check. Snuggerud puts it out in front, but it's intercepted by Maslov. So we're now at equal strength now, 5 against 5. Some good opportunities for the United States, unable to capitalize. Here is Miller coming in. Laviolette to Young, tees it up, save, Cherkis, rebound. Comes over to the Soviets. Kravitz goes for number 12. Right out in front again, Halazov for the Soviets. Instead, Bourbeau tees it up. His shot is deflected by Halazov. Comes over to Young. Young back behind the net. Where Millen is in. Miller goes for it. Cannot control. Mikhailov for the Soviets, number 18. Drops it off to Vladimir Zukov. Zukov will clear it back out with 11:50 remaining in the second period. 5-2 United States. Another rush. Laviolette coming in for the United States. Drops for Fusco. Fusco puts it into the slot. Puck is loose. A break here for the Soviets as Lapshin, number 14, comes out with it. Drops it off for Kravitz, who overskates the puck. And they got to let it lay there, otherwise an offside would have been called as a shot back. The body's flying. Mikhailov, number 18. 5-2 U.S. Kravitz goes for it. Laviolette chased by Kravitz, number 12. And Lane McDonald, number 19 for the U.S. Gives to Young. Unable to clear it out. Kept in by Kukushkin. hard check that time by Fusco. Lapchin with a backhander. Save. Terreri. He holds on. And we're getting some fisticuffs here. We'll get back with more. U.S. 5, the Soviets 2, second period action.
Moments ago, it was almost made 6-2. It's now 5-2, but here was a breakaway as we ISO on the Soviet goalie, Cherkas. You could see Snuggerud coming on the one side, and that was Borbeau trying to drop to Granado. And down at the other end, you could see Peter Laviolette stopped in front to take number 20. That left the other Soviet a chance to move around the net. Peter says, wrong. No way, move.
Mr. Lavrov did not like that.
Let's go.
And back live, Terreri covering up. 10:39 remaining in the second period. U.S. is leading 5-2. Unofficially, the shots on goal 29-12 with Dave Peterson's U.S. squad in command in that aspect of the game.
You know, Art Berglund, Dave's partner here with the U.S. team, in the sense that Art Berglund, as the general manager, was talking about all the international competition going on in the next couple of months that USA teams are involved with. When I get a chance, I'll tell you all about it.
This is Zhukov for the Soviets. Sergei Zhukov, member of the Leningrad Army team. And a shot into the U.S. zone by Igor Ivanov, number 11. Maslov chased by Brown. Maslov still has the puck. Ivanov tries to put it in front. He does. And it'll come back into the neutral zone. Zhukov.
No, too many men.
That should have been too many men on the ice. You heard Dave Peterson yell. If you're trying to get off the ice, doesn't matter. That puck hits you. It's a too many end of the ice situation. We'll get a penalty right here against the United States as Ivanov was tripped up and taken down. And the Soviets will come up with a power play on the penalty called against Tony Granado of the United States.
21 White tripping.
A trip on Granado. 5-2 United States. 9:43 remaining.
We'll take a look at the penalty to Tony Granado out of Downers Grove, Illinois, and the University of Wisconsin. Okay, he might have gotten his knee out there a little bit coming across ice, but when you make that move to your backhand the way the Soviet did, it doesn't take much to throw you off. But I'll tell you what, that was a bit of a dramatic move. There's Tony Granado, the oldest of 6 kids. I had a chance to talk to his mom last week, and I think she paid him the ultimate compliment that a mother can pay her son, and she said he was a great example and still is for all of his younger brothers and sisters. He's a top shelf kid that worked real hard coming out of Illinois to make it to where he is today. Northwood Prep, played in the United States Junior League for a couple of years.
And if you mention his brothers and sisters, 2 of his brothers and one of his sisters are also captain of their hockey team.
They sure are. Did you know that his sister Cammie is captain of her team and she plays on a boys team?
Cammie and brothers Don and Rod. U.S. playing a man shy. Donatelli going for the puck. This is Stephen Leach. Soviets are on a power play, and Shendelev will try and crank it up. 9:15 remaining second. USA 5. Soviet selects 2. Teplyakov, and it comes back out to center as Zubkov couldn't control.
You know, Spencer, we've mentioned the experience of this team. Tony Granado sits in the penalty box. He's represented the United States on 7 different hockey teams. 7.
And the big moment, though, coming in a couple of months in Calgary. That's the moment all the youngsters wait for.
Yeah.
Svetov, who has both Soviet goals, brings it back to the point to Zubkov. Loose out in front. U.S. comes up, but they will get a hand pass called on the United States. There's 51 seconds left on the penalty to Tony Granado.
And you know, Tony Granado is no different than most of the players on this team in the sense that they gazed at the 1980 miracle, and the majority of them sat there and said to either mom or dad or whoever was around listening, that's what I want to do. And some of them, it was a long shot to an Eric Weinrich out of Maine. His dad told me it was such he remembers him wanting to play on the Olympic team and realizing what a long shot it would be for a kid from the hockey programs of Maine to make it.
And the wonderful thing is Eric has made it, but the other side of the coin is let's hope he makes it back. As we mentioned earlier, Eric, who we just saw last night. In fact, we saw Eric this morning.
Yeah.
Skate. Blood test taken. He has mononucleosis, and he's going to be out for a while. Hopefully he will get back and be up in Calgary come the month of February. U.S. really doing a good job at keeping the Soviets off the attack while they're on a power play. Soviets have 19 seconds remaining on their power play, and it has been a powerless one. But here's Vasiliev, number 23. Try to put it in front. It's stolen away by the United States. Leo McDonald on a break. McDonald coming in, has Brown in his left. And McDonald written off the puck by Kukushkin. And this is Vasiliev, number 23. 5-2 United States. McDonald just ragging Kukushkin. Takes the puck away. Oh, should have been a penalty right there. Vasiliev, after McDonald took it away, he just hooked him down. Millen in the slot. Stevens shoots wide. Young, that is. Millen on the rebound. U.S. putting on pressure. Got it. Granado out of the penalty box. A pile-up out in front. And we'll get a face-off deep in the Soviet end. Tempers beginning to flare. Great pressure by this young United States team against the Soviets.
Everyone's cool, let's go.
Boy, they're not afraid to mix it up in front. That time, Kukushkin, number 3, and that man, number 18, Alexander Mikhailov, were just going the lumber around. There's no other way to describe it. They were moving people all over the place. Here comes Lane McDonald on this rush. The Soviet defender is coming down beside him, and he never does turn around and skate backwards. It was a key. You can see number 3, Kukushkin. Whoop, there's one of our linesmen that was lost on the play, but Kukushkin defended very well. He never did turn and skate backwards into the side. If Tony Granado had seen this coming off the boards, or if Corey Millen had been in there, the giant if once again, would have been a 4-goal bulge.
Instead, it remains 5-2 in favor of the United States. Gianni tried to make the steal. Alazov goes for it, and it comes back to Peter Laviolette. This was tied at 2 as we started the second period. It is now a 5-2 hockey game, and Cherkas has to come out of his net to give to Zubkov. And we'll get a whistle, a break in the action. Let's head downstairs to Michael Eruzione.
There you go.
Okay.
Spencer,
how quickly we forget, I'll tell you.
Spencer and Bill, I'm wondering if you're seeing something that's very uncharacteristic of the Soviet team, kind of losing their composure a little, not playing that Soviet style of play of puck control. They seem to be getting rid of the puck a lot quicker than normal and seem to be a little chippier than normal team.
Well, I think, Mike, they might be drawn into that chippiness. They've been banged around pretty good tonight. I don't know from where you're sitting if you had the boards, I'm sure down there are banging back and forth, but from up here, it's clearly been Team USA that's been taking it physically to the Soviets. And how many guys did you play against, Mike, that really like to get hit?
I used to love to get hit.
And that's why you are the way you are today.
Well, they seem to be getting rid of the puck quicker, so maybe it's starting to take its toll on them.
I think so. Team USA is really forcing them, and they're not giving them much time. You know as well as I do that the Soviets, if you give them time, no matter what team you're playing against, that is a really valuable tool to them, giving them time. So Team USA hasn't given them any time, and they're starting to panic a little bit. I agree.
Stuggerud almost had an opportunity right there. That's an offside on the U.S. 6:27 remaining in the second period. The United States 6. He'll help our elite athletes, but also the Amateur Hockey Association of the U.S. You're going to be assisting many thousands of everyday athletes from 7 to 70 who enjoy hockey on a recreational basis. 5-2 in favor of the United States. Lane McDonald cannot control it, and this is Andrei Andreev, number 10. Maslov shooting it in.
Greg Brown times, even on Millen's goal, he stayed when a lot of other guys would have gotten burnt, but he read the play so well and anticipated what was happening so well that he cut off a pass. 99 guys out of 100 would have gotten burnt. Here's a chance for Dave Snuggerud.
And a save by Cherkas. Maslov comes up with it. Leach, of course, the #1 draft choice of the New York Rangers. Many have said Brian Leach may just become the finest United States developed hockey player of all time, at least up until this day. Icing the call on the Soviets. 1:31, second period, where the United States has scored 4 goals. As we look at Jeff Norton out of Acton, Massachusetts, the #3 draft choice of the Islanders, Dave Peterson. 4 goals in the second period.
All right, Millen's line has got the change. Millen's line has the change. Folks, make sure you stay in a defensive posture, regardless of what those other two do. Okay? So we're down, by the time you get on, we're going to be down to a mile.
Down to a mile, meaning down to a minute. A mile and 28 seconds remaining in this second period. Soviets try and clear. U.S. just anticipating every pass that the Russians put forward. Mikhailov. Another intercept. And Pusko's shot sails high and deflects up into the crowd. So the puck will come out of the Soviet zone. Check those shots on goal, Mr. Clement. 37-13.
You can't feel that bench is too happy. Here's the USA logo up on the big clock here at Richfield.
Well, we apologize for the difficulties we have just encountered, which are apparently over. Otherwise, we would not be apologizing because we would not be aware of the technical difficulties we are having. But they are over now, and we've got a lot more hockey for you. 6-2 in favor of the United States. Millen was holding out a Zhukov's stick, and Zhukov didn't take kindly to it. Granato tried to put it out in front. Granato, a minute remaining in the second period. Zhukov. Vlasov. And we'll get a stoppage of play again on another offside. We'll take a break. It is 6-2 in favor of the United States. The Richfield Coliseum, you see it. The USA Olympians are leading the Soviet selects by a score of 6-2, and they're beating them.
Yeah, that score is obviously, it's obvious if you've been watching the game. If you just tuned in, that score is indicative of the play, and very often we say the score isn't, but in this case it is. It could be far worse if it weren't for Sergei Cherkasov in goal for the Soviet Union. Shots now 37 for Team USA, 13 for the Soviet selects.
2 months to go till Calgary, and these young men putting on quite a show this evening with 15 seconds remaining in this period. Soviets will try and move it up. Spektov, number 17, who scored both Soviet goals late in the first period. Halazov. Johnny goes for an offside as the buzzer sounds, ending the second period. Listen to this crowd. A great second period as we look at Chris Terreri. The United States with a 6-2 lead as we take a look at the goal that made it 6.
Just another one of the great plays by Brian Leach. There he was. That was one of the plays I was talking about. He stayed in and actually made the play and passed it to Corey Millen. Watch it slip between Sergei Cherkasov's legs. That made it 6-2, and Team USA has a 4-goal bulge.
Couple of goals back-to-back by Millen, Donatelli, and Leach. The other goals, Mike Carusi will be along in just a moment. 6-2 USA. This was a 2-2 hockey game going into the second period. 4 goals by the United States in the second period. 2 by Millen, 1 by Donatelli, 1 by Leach. The United States out shooting the Soviets 21-4. Kulov. As we're ready for the start of the third period, Soviets will send out the line centered by Vyacheslav Lavrov with Mikhail Kravitz and Mikhail Lapshin. Shendelev and Zubkov will be back in defense, and Brian Leach has it for the U.S. Donato ahead to Corey Millen. Soviets looking to pressure early here. This is Lapshin. Lapshin tries to put it in front, swept aside by Donato. And we'll get a whistle and a stoppage play. And look how quickly here Dave Peterson makes the initial change right off the first 20 seconds of the period.
It's got Todd Okerlund coming off the ice. That name Okerlund might be familiar to a lot of people. Mean Gene Okerlund, who is the voice of World Wrestling Federation, is Todd Okerlund's dad. Hard-working player, very popular player, and his coach at the University of Minnesota, Doug Wu, gave him a 10 on work ethic. A real hard worker. Had his whole knee rebuilt last year and came back to the sports festival this year, and a lot of people were pulling for him. Well, they can stop pulling for him. He's pretty well on this team. Now they have to pull for him to go ahead to Calgary and come back with something.
We get an offside, and on the subject of Oakland, that game he blew out his knee, he continued and finished that game off, and then was out for the rest of the season. Mike Ruzioni downstairs. Michael?
Yeah, Spence, I just had a chance to talk with Dave Peterson before they went out on the ice for the third period, and asked him if he was going to do anything differently, and he said no, they're going to continue to go after him and be aggressive, but they're going to try to make sure that that third man in stays a little high. The third man in the zone is going to stay a little high just for defensive purposes, but they don't want to sit on the lead. They want to stay aggressive, stay after him, but work on that third man sitting back just a little for the back checker.
6-2 in favor of the United States. An opportunity right there. Donatelli and Cherkas did not know where that puck was. Greg Brown fires it through. Stevens goes for it. This is Donatelli, number 17 for the United States. Craig Janney taking it to the boards and taking it hard by Vlasov. U.S. putting on pressure once again. Brown very nicely keeping it in. The shot by Stevens sails wide. Janney losing his helmet as it was pulled off his head. And it comes back to Jeff Norton. Norton losing to Vlasov. Igor Vlasov, number 9 for the Soviet Union. Tepliakov. Tepliakov will try and bring it in front, try to move it around and jam it home. And the save is made by Terreri. As Snuggerud comes out now. Snuggerud getting tangled with Mikhailov. We'll take a break. 6-2 in favor of the United States. Mike Eruzione, the United States, Team USA leading by a score of 6-2, and a penalty called on that play goes against Tepliakov, and the United States goes on the power play. 6-2 and looking for more. Corey Millen. This is Scotty Fusco. Back to Millen. Millen tries to put it in front. The flex-off escape controlled by the Soviets. They will bring it back. An opportunity here, but a good defensive play. That time by Young. This is Brian Leach. What a move by Brian Leach. What a save by Cherka. Oh, 19 years of age, and he left him hanging. Leach again. Fusco. Leach puts it in front to Millen. Leach keeps it in. Fusco. The wrist shot. Young. Donatelli out in front. Score! What a pretty feed. And a goal for Scott Fusco. 7-2 Team USA.
How alone can you be? Watch Fusco at the bottom of your screen. He'll come back into the picture on this pass. There he is moving into the slot. You can see number 22 for the Soviet Union, Gerasimov, that's moving back in to take him. I'll tell you what, as I speak, number 2 Zukov is still jawing at number 22 Gerasimov for not covering up. There is Zukov on the left in red, and Gerasimov was on the right. He didn't cover up for him. Scott Fusco read it perfectly, moved in, slammed home another one at 7-2.
And Fusco's second of the night for the Team USA, their first power play goal. And that was Millen, Corey Millen, on that beautiful feed from the left side. 7-2 in favor of Team USA. Ivanov goes for it. The United States comes out with a puck. This is Ivanov. Igor Ivanov, number 11 for the Soviet, shooting it in. Reed goes for it. Ivanov is there. Greg Brown on his back, and a save by Terreri. And the Soviets unable to keep it in. 16:45 remaining third period. Zukov putting it in the zone. Jeff Norton has it. Whoops. Look what Chris Terreri found. A break in the action with 16:32 remaining. 7-2 Team USA. 7-2 United States. Team USA in the white sweaters. The Soviets in the red. Stephen Leach. Leach has Fusco in front. Gives to Young. Fire save. Cherka. Rebound comes out. Stevens, McDonald puts it in front, but it's intercepted by the Soviets. Mikhailov taken right back by Lane McDonald. He gives to Leach. Leach trying to jam it home, unable to, as Kukushkin stayed with him. And Dmitry Kukushkin with the puck. U.S. leading by a score of 7-2 here in the third period. U.S. went out to a 2-0 lead. Soviets got it. Now we're getting a little roughhousing right there as Kravitz is going to go up. Kyle Kravitz will be going up with 15.
Action in the corner. That's Laviolette that went down, and the sequence right after that was when he got up and cross-checked Kravitz in the back and ultimately drew the penalty. They had something going all the way down the ice. Laviolette is a tough kid. We get a chance, well, if not tonight, in one of the subsequent games, we'll talk about the long shot on this team. That's Peter Laviolette.
And of course, I saw Kravitz go back after him. I thought he might be going off, but Laviolette picks up the penalty. And a power play opportunity for the Soviets. They've scored one in the power play. Svetov has both Soviet goals. They came in the first period. Right out in front of opportunities. Kravitz shot it wide. Kravitz again. Lopchin with a puck. Alazov with a shot, and Chris Terreri keeps his eye on it all the way and comes up with a save.
Sure did. He had his eye on it. He also moved, 6, 8, 10 feet slowly out of the net, right between a pack, was able to make the save. There's Peter Laviolette, the player we were talking about earlier and how he's a long shot. He played at Westfield State in Massachusetts. And you know, Spencer, when I mentioned all the players, the kids sitting around in 1980 saying, I want to play in the Olympics in 1988, Peter Laviolette admits that he wasn't one of those kids. He wasn't a standout in high school. He came out of the Indianapolis Checkers of the International League last year, and on a recommendation of Jack Ferraro, who's the director of player personnel for the New York Rangers, Dave Peterson decided to take a look at him, as did Art Berglund. He never even was invited to the sports festival in North Carolina, but joined them in Lake Placid and has slowly improved, and is the kind of player, I guess you could say, can adjust up to whatever level he has to play, and that's what he's done.
Well, Dave Peterson calls him a very, very pleasant surprise. He's thought to be a little bit slow, but he is tough, he is rough, and he surprised the United States coaching staff, no doubt about that. Terreri will clear it down ice. 35 seconds left on the penalty to Laviolette.
How about those shots now? 42-14.
McDonald save. McDonald again saved Cherkov. Nearly a shorthanded score for the U.S. team. Soviets having their problems. Vladimir Zubkov. It has been all U.S. since the start of the second period. 21-4, the U.S. outshot the Soviets. Second. Outscored them 4-0. Svetov. Zubkov tries to put it in front. Here's a breakaway. A break for the United States. Leach comes down as Laviolette in front out of the penalty box. Couldn't get him the puck. Leach again. And a shot and a save off the stick of Guy Gosselin. Overwhelming. This is what this United States team has been tonight. A break with 13:07 remaining. 7-2 space.
It's easy to smile when you're up 7-2, but he's that kind of guy. He doesn't seem to react to the pressure. He's really a pleasant guy to be around, isn't he?
Vasiliev and a score. Vasiliev on the feed that time to Alexander Zibin. And Zibin puts it home to make it a 7-3 count. Still 12:54 remaining. And Zibin, a late addition to the Soviet club from the Central Red Army team, comes up with the score.
Well, he got wide on the far side. If we not going to see it from that angle, but that shot was a tough one to stop. We'll probably see it from this one. Watch how he threads this one just inside the post, head up all the way. Didn't have much room, but it was kind of a broken shot. Brian Leach came back and got a bit of a piece of it, so I think that might have fooled Chris Terreri a little bit.
7-3 in favor of the U.S. Here is Janney. Craig Janney stick handling beautifully. Seemed to be tripped down by Alexander Gerasimov, number 22. Mikhailov, number 18, goes for it. Zubkov. Donatelli for the United States. And it comes right through the crease. An opportunity for Stevens. And the Soviets counterattack now. Gerasimov. Laviolette after him. Laviolette takes him down and rides him out of the play.
Let's go, guys!
Zeben goes after it. Vasiliev. And the whistle blows it dead. 11:54 remaining. United States leading by a score of 7-3. See the time remaining, 11 minutes 54 seconds. Soviets have just scored after the U.S. had come up with 5 unanswered goals to take a 7-2 lead. This is Jeff Norton giving to Greg Brown. That'll go the length of the ice. Halazov let it skip Guy, and we'll get an icing call. Could easily have been waved off right there, as Halazov appeared to have an opportunity to get to the puck. As we look at Sergei Zhukov, member of the Leningrad Army team. Good defensive defenseman.
Use your quickness. Don't worry about fatigue.
Interesting, too, in the sense that his name has been rumored as coming to the National Hockey League. Number 2, Zhukov, when the Olympics are over. But it remains to be seen that he's going to come. It always remains to be seen.
Eventually, that apparently will happen. Opportunity for Miller. And this is Maslov for the Soviets. U.S. leads it by a score of 7-3. Zeben's goal for Vasiliev at 7:06, making this a 7-3 hockey game in favor of Team USA. Maslov put it right out in front. Terreri got a stick on it. Andre Maslov scored. Don't go away. It is 7-4. Couple of quick goals for the Soviets.
Well, Team USA, Spencer, got away with a defensive lap at the blue line when they were coming back, but they didn't get away with the second one. 2 men actually converge on one, and there it is. You can see Greg Brown and Alan Bourbeau, both of them right there, facing the Soviet player, and that leaves 2 red guys in front against 1 USA defender. There they are. Now that's where they have to communicate. That's where Alan Bourbeau has to say to Greg Brown, I got him, and turn around immediately to try and either cut the pass or take Andreev, anybody that was standing in front.
Once again, the Soviets come on the attack. U.S. leading by a score of 7-4. Zhukov just couldn't get a stick in that puck and line it up for a shot.
You know what's happening now, too? Mike Ruzioni mentioned Dave Peterson wanting the 3rd man high so that they didn't get caught pushing in deep in the Soviet zone. They're doing that fine, but when they're getting back into their defensive zone, some of the forwards are starting to go in swing patterns. They're not going in straight lines to the check and stopping. They're making that big swing pattern, trying to get momentum going the other way to get the 8th goal.
Laviolette continuing to wrap people into the board. Here's Young. It's a 2-on-1. Young has Fusco on the left. Try to give it to Fusco. It was deflected, and Cherkas will hold on to it. Another opportunity for Team USA.
Well, you know, there are 7 more games in this series. Mike Ruzioni, you're downstairs. You played against the Soviets before, and should Team USA go ahead and beat this Soviet team, I think they could probably expect to see a different team down the road. What do you think?
Oh, there's no question. We may see a different team in the next few minutes. You know, there's one thing the Soviets have, I think, against them a little is, you know, they flew in Sunday night. They got in at midnight. They played the University of Wisconsin on Tuesday night, and they're getting banged around pretty good here today, and maybe the legs aren't quite there yet. And I guarantee you, in the next 10 minutes, as we've seen in the last 2 minutes, we're seeing a different Soviet team, a little more enthusiasm, a little more excitement out of them. And I think definitely tomorrow night, or the next game that they play, you're going to see a different team.
That'll be Saturday night in Cincinnati. Maslov from Andreev and Halasov at 9:02 to make this a 7-4 hockey game. Favor of Team USA. Opportunity here, and Donato could not put it home. There have been so many of those tonight for Team USA. And Mr. Cherkas has let 7 go by, but 46 shots on goal, and at least 30 of them have been what you call quality shots. Terreri. U.S. continues to take the body. Corey Millen. Corey Millen has Greg Brown in front. And Svetov Takes Miller into the board. And back comes Stevens. Biggest man on this U.S. squad. The bodies are flying.
Well, you bet, and the sticks are flying, and the Soviets are the ones that are starting to dish it out pretty solidly. Number 17, Svetov, came right down on Corey Mills' back with his stick after Mill had gone down.
Vlasov with a shot, and it comes back out to center. Halisov. U.S. changing on the fly. 8:45 remaining. Zukov to Halisov. And a score. Soviets are coming back as they put their 5th goal of the evening on the board as Alexander Zibin scores his 2nd of the night, his 2nd here in the 3rd period.
Well, you could just see the tail end of people standing around in the neutral zone. Dave Peterson can't be that happy. That was a nice shot, but a broken play, and all kinds of Team USA players had a chance to do something in the neutral zone. Watch Craig Janney here, number 15. He went for the puck and didn't go for the man. They still have some distance to go before Calgary, and this Soviet team has awakened. And Mike had mentioned earlier in the game, when they score in bunches. They score them like bananas. In bunches.
Trying to patch up the ice a bit earlier today. It was very, very choppy. Soviets have battled back. 2-2 after 1, 6-2 after 2, Team USA, then 7-2, and suddenly the Soviets have put 3 on the board here in this 3rd period.
But there's no question that Team USA has changed their style to a degree. They're not as aggressive. They're as aggressive when they end up in a one-on-one situation trying to hit somebody. There was a chance right there. Laviolette was trying to line someone up. But they've forgotten a bit about the defensive part of hockey, and that's what's happened to them.
And still plenty of time for the Soviets. 8:21 remaining, a 2-goal USA lead. Will take the face-off for Team USA against Alexander Gerasimov. U.S. controls it. Young. Snuggerud could not clear it. Zukov is there, number 2 for the Soviets. And the U.S. is finally able to get out. This is Miller. Miller did not make the move around the Soviet defenseman, and Gerasimov has it now. 7-5, Team USA right out in front. It goes wide off the stick of Kevin Miller. He was just standing there unmolested. Those Soviets back there. 7:40 remaining. Halisov. Snuggerud has it back now. Good lead pass, but too far. Offsides on Team USA with 7.5 remaining. 7-5 the score. Mike Eruzione standing by downstairs. Mike?
Bill and Spencer, I'm down at ice level now, and I'm wondering that with the U.S. in the last few minutes, last 6-7 minutes, they've seemed to be playing the body a little more, but yet I think they're taking themselves out of position. Bill, do you see them kind of running around a little too much and maybe losing their composure a little?
Yeah, I think it's turned full circle. Early in the game, we said it was the Soviets that had been thrown off their game. Just a minute ago, I was watching in the offensive zone. We talked about that one man staying high so that they don't get caught. Well, 2 men were staying high, and you know what they were doing, Mike, is actually pulling out too soon, so that when the Soviets finally did rush out of their zone, they had to do little button hooks, Team USA did in the neutral zone, to turn around and try to check them. Otherwise, they would have ended up way back in their zone too soon. So I agree with you. They're not reacting real well right now, and they're overcompensating defensively now, trying to cling to this 2-goal lead, which was a couple of minutes ago a 5-goal lead.
It is a clinging situation right now. Soviets have turned this hockey game around as we look at Greg Brown leaving the ice. Brown out of Southborough, Massachusetts.
Come on, White. Come on, White. Pick it up now. Come on, pick it up. DJ, your line's coming. Let's go.
Leach with a shot, sails wide. Goslin on the rebound. The Soviets control. Shekelev took a hard hit that time. As the U.S. continues to take the body, Todd Okerlund with that hard hit. Okerlund again. Continuing. to harass Vladimir Zubkov. And for about the 47th time tonight, the goal has come off in support. It's only happened down at the Soviet end. And we're getting some words right here. Zubkov seem to be chatting with Todd Okerlund.
Big old Shendelev wondered what had hit him in front. Corey Milne ran him from behind and ran him right into Cherkis in the net and everything. Here's Cherkis. He's just minding his own business. Here comes Corey Milne. When in doubt, follow through, Spencer.
Cherkis just minding his own business.
Say, I haven't had a rough enough night without this.
Yeah, he has had a tough night. U.S. controls the face-off. Young. And this is Janney. Janney with Granatelli.
Oh, wow, what acceleration by Donatelli to get in there.
Very nearly put it home. A good feed by Janney. Up in the crowd it goes off the stick of Clark Donatelli.
Well, I got to tell you, he just exploded from the blue line, and Janney got such great hands from the blue line in, carried it long enough, and then pulled it to his backhand and got it across. Here's the pass. Donatelli had just blown by his defender. That was Kravitz, number 12. Did Cherkis get a piece of that, or did it come off the post?
Now, let's see it again.
Here's a good angle.
I think he might have.
Right off the post.
Yeah. Soviets come out of their zone. 6:05 remaining, 7-5 in favor of Team USA. Peter Laviolette, number 26 for Team USA. A bad pass. Mikhailov couldn't control it, though. And the Soviets back again with Kukushkin. This is Lavrov to Kravitz. And Kravitz shoots it in. Young, who has played all night on defense, just as Dave Peterson had said. Kravitz, Norton takes him into the board. And here comes Miller. Kevin Miller drops for Snuggerud. Save Cherkis on the rebound. Halitsov, number 5 for the Soviet. Norton is going to be the first to the puck for the U.S. Right out in front it comes, intercepted by Lavrov, and the Soviets on the counterattack, but it's knocked away by Snuggerud. And Sviatoslav Halitsov goes for it, and we get an offside call. 5:09 remaining, third period. It is 7 for Team USA, 5 for the Soviets. Call on the Freedom Sports Network. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Spencer Ross, Bill Clement, and Mike Maruzioni will be at the Joe Louis Arena for that one. Team USA leading this one by a score of 7-5. A 4-goal explosion in the second period for the American youngster. Leach tries to keep it in, and he does. Lane McDonald and Halitsov. McDonald puts it out in front. Pusko is waiting at the doorstep, and it was deflected away, and here come the Soviets on the counterattack. Lapsov tries to put it in front to Teplyakov. Zukov. And Pusko. Bad pass. Svetov got a stick on it, but couldn't keep it in the zone. 4:20 remaining. Steal from Halitsov by Brian Leach. Leach, the shot, a save, and a beauty off the stick of Todd Okerlund. That is 50 shots on goal for Team USA. And Svetov is able to clear it out. They'll call it ice here. And we'll come back up ice with 3:57 remaining. As we take a look at Scott Young, 6'1", 190 pounds, from Clinton, Massachusetts, Boston University. And the good news about Scott Young, he will be taking part in the Olympic competition.
Yeah, and for those that haven't followed Scott Young's story, he was barred from International Ice Hockey Federation for 18 months for using cyanide, which contains ephedrine, which is a substance which is on the banned list, and apparently it was about to be removed from the list, but they decided to leave it on. It was one of those very innocent things, to make a long story short, and he's been cleared at least by the IOC, the Olympic Committee, to go ahead and play in the Olympics, so he will be set to go come February.
As I told you last week, when I had the sniffles, they would have banned me. I took a similar antihistamine.
By the way, that took place at the World Championships in Vienna. Oh, here's a chance for for Tony Granato. He's still looking for one in the front. He's been around that net all night.
7-5 Team USA, 3 minutes 40 seconds remaining. But the Soviets counterattack right here. Zeben, who has already scored twice. Zeben being pressured by Oakland, and Laviolette now comes over to help out. And they'll freeze that puck. And they'll bring it out to the face-off circle to the right of Chris Terrier.
You know, we had talked earlier about all of the experience that this hockey team has, and I was talking with Art Berglund, Team USA's general manager. Look at Scott Fusco holding his nose.
There's our player of the game, our Omega player of the game, Scott Fusco, who came up with 2 goals and 2 assists in tonight's hockey match. Good effort by Fusco. And so many others on this United States team turning in a real strong effort tonight. 7-5 Team USA. Janney gets it ahead to Donatelli, and Stevens very nearly tipped it in. 3:15 remaining. 7-5 Team USA. Vasilia. Another giveaway. Janney comes in. Cleared aside. Janney will get to it. Drop it off for Donatelli. Janney. This is big Stevens. Stevens gives to Janney. Janney puts it in front. Puck just lays there momentarily, and the Soviets come out with it. U.S. with a complete chain, and Snuggerud comes up with it, and Vasiliev should have taken a couple of minutes right there. Saved the breakaway, no penalty call. Lapshin now, number 14. It's getting rough out there, folks. Here is Miller, and Kevin Miller had the puck taken right off the stick by the Soviets' Kukushkin. Soviets right back, Lapshin, wound around by Brian Leach. Leach goes down. The shot sails high off the stick of Kukushkin and Mikhailov. A minute 55 remaining. Team USA 7, Soviets 5. And the U.S. comes out. Fusco feeding ahead to Snuggerud. Snuggerud giving to Kevin Miller. And Snuggerud dumps it in. Americans looking for a change, and they get it. Right here, we'll pause 5 seconds to allow all our stations to identify themselves on the Freedom Sports Network.
WIXT 9 in Syracuse.
Here is Laviolette, and a score by Leach. Stephen Leach put it home. What a second effort right there.
What a first effort. What a blast on that first shot that he let go that went wide of the net. Well, here it comes back to him in the second go-around. Just inside the post. There's that first one blasting by the net. We didn't get a chance to see him tee it up. Boy, Churka's just wondering what went by him. Well, he should be getting pretty used to the objects that are going by him. There's the first shot. He just blasted it about 6 inches wide. Stayed high in the slot. Oh, he's got a quick release, doesn't he?
Yep.
Good score.
Makes it an 8-5 hockey game with a minute 26 remaining.
We play 1-2-2. Play 1-2-2. Don't be afraid of taking penalties now. Only the center forechecks. Wings lock on wings the whole way. Okay? Millen's line starts. You cover the lane.
Here doing the 1-2-2.
Zone, you have to stay with.
He wants one man in deep forechecking.
We'll take the outside.
2 men out high.
1-2-2. All right, here we go.
Wants the defense to make sure they take away the middle of the ice because the wingers are going to be back, or at least 2 men are going to be back, so they can block everything up in the middle. You know, it was interesting. Said, don't be afraid to take a penalty.
There is our Omega player of the game, brought to you by Omega, the official watch of the U.S. space program. The Soviet player of the game is Sergei Svetov, who came up with those 2 goals in the first period. Svetov, a 26-year-old who plays for the Leningrad Army team, and Scott Fusco, the American player of the game. 8-5 in favor of Team USA. Young. Laviolette. Ackerman could not control, and here is Svetov. Svetov looking for the hat trick. And Terreri came out and cut him off.
Last minute of play in the third period.
1 minute remaining. Listen to this crowd. Zukov. .45 seconds. Soviets into the zone. Alazov goes for it. Let's just listen to the crowd. They're having fun. Renato and Alazov began to mix it up, and they are broken up quickly. The crowd does not want to see a fight. I'm not even sure if they want to see any more goals. They just want to chant USA for the next 38 seconds.
You know, there weren't many people in this great nation that weren't watching, weren't glued to the television in 1980.
What a day.
Not many at all.
And here's a young man who, I doubt if he was around. He wasn't. He just has to be told about it.
Real small for his age if he was around.
He'd like to see it happen. A couple of months from now in Calgary. Jeff Norton shoots it in. 25 seconds remaining. Back with the Soviets, Vladimir Zukov. Zukov shoots to center. 15 seconds remaining. The crowd will undoubtedly count you down. Team USA, Chris Terreri. A big night. 8-5. Team USA wins it. We'll get back.
Team, and you know what? I think they have the makings. I was very, very impressed with the entire effort tonight. Sure, they had some defensive lapses, but I think they're a strong hockey team. Waiting downstairs is another Olympian. Let's go to him now, Michael Ruzioni.
Well, thank you, Bill. I was very impressed, obviously, with the U.S. team. You know, a team that wasn't supposed to be very talented offensively. They put 54 shots on the goal today. They're aggressive. They seem like they're very hungry. They battled back when they were behind a little, and I was impressed. Good game, but it's an 8-game series, a lot more hockey to play.
Okay, there you see the excitement as the U.S. hockey team has come through with a victory by a score of 8-5.